about God and mammon, one will make you hate the other. Okay, or let's say exclude the other. You not necessarily hate, that's a strong word. Okay, but you will become subservient to that power, because money is an energy. It is a power. Money is an energy. Okay, but you need to command money. You need to tell money what to do. You can tell money to come here. You can invite money. Okay, you can do all those things. But you have to have control over the money, not the money control over you. Okay, so that's the secret. That's the big secret. Okay, a lot of people don't look at it that way. They don't look at it that way. Good morning, Jay. They don't look at it that way. Why? Well, because they think that money is above them. Money is below you. You're a human being. Okay, money's down here, you're up here. Money does not have a heartbeat. Money does not have a conscience. Money does not have a personality. It does not have a brain. Okay, so you command money. Money doesn't command you. I know people that, money influences them. Money makes them do things. Okay, I know some people that would do anything for money. You throw money at them, they'll do anything you want. There was this guy that I worked with in an industry, which I'm not going to name. But I worked with this guy in an industry, and he told me, he said, it's about money or it's about nothing. That's what he said. And I was trying to wrap my mind around it, because I'm a people person. I put people first. When you put money above all else like that, it's about money or it's about nothing. So everything's about money, right? Now, if you're living like that, okay, let me tell you what you can expect. If you're living like that, with that attitude, you can expect very short-term gains and very long-term losses. Let me say it again. Very short-term gains and very long-term losses over time. Okay, when you add up all the losses over time, huge, huge. Always put God first. Now, to some people that sounds like woo-woo. To some people that sounds like what? Put God first? What? They don't understand how to do it. How do you put God first? Go in here. God lives in here, first of all, okay? So I'm going to send you back to the kingdom. Kingdom is in here. To go in here, okay, and sit with God. You don't even have to pray if you don't want to. You don't have to speak to God if you don't want to. Just sit there and feel God. God lives in here. Jesus Christ told us the kingdom is within. And Jesus told us that the kingdom was within so we wouldn't go without. So you cannot serve God and mammon. You cannot serve God and money. You have to pick one. When you get to the point that you pick money over God or money over people, money is an inanimate object. If you choose that over people, you put money first. You put money over everything. Money influences your decisions. Money guides you. Money is your God. When you do that, short-term gains, long-term losses over the long term. Now, you may not even be consciously aware of it. You might not be aware of your losses because losses happen here and there sometimes, right? But when you add up all your wins and add up all your losses, you'll see it. And then you go, oh, I've been serving money. Don't make money your God. How many people do you know handle credit cards like this? Like that. Oh, here you go. And they hand it to you like this. Do you see the worship? Do you see the worship in this? You see? When I hand somebody my card, I just hand them the card. Okay? This is reverence. This is worship. Okay? This is not good. You command money. You are money's boss, not the other way around. Don't get it twisted. I command money. I use money. I attract money. I make money. A lot of people that make money don't command money. They don't have authority over money. Money has authority over them. Money makes them do things. Money makes them think differently of people, right? So you know the guy with a lot of money, right? So they elevate that guy in their mind. Why? Because he has a lot of money. I have tons of wealthy friends, very, very wealthy friends. And only a few of them worship money. The wealthiest among them understand that they command money, not the other way around. The very wealthiest ones. Okay, the ones with a little wealth, okay, maybe a few million. Some of them are still wrapped up in serving money. So how do you get this attitude? It starts in your subconscious. You need to tell money what to do. I tell money what to do every day. Every day I tell money what to do. I move money around every day. I command money every day. But when you start letting money command you, when you start letting money influence you, when you start letting money push you around, now you have a problem. Because now, no matter what, you will sacrifice your principles, your morals, your values, whatever it is, in the name of money. Because you have made money your God. Money is not your God. Money is an energy. Money is an energy. But you need to attract that energy and put it to work for you. You need to attract that energy and command it to do things. You can command money to come. You can command money to stay. You can command money to leave. You see? Money is an energy. But if you're not commanding money, if you're not in control of the money, and you allow the money to control you, you have big problems. Big problems. Because money will consume you. I consume money. Money doesn't consume me. I consume money. I put people first. So is it wrong to have nice stuff? No, not at all. Of course not. But you just have to put it in its perspective. Use things, love people. I love people. I love people. I donate my time to people. I give a lot of my time to people. Because I love people. Can you love money and people? Yeah, you can love money and people. I'm talking about when money runs your life. I'm talking about when you lift money so high that money becomes your God, that money makes you do things. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about not loving money. I think everybody loves money, right? Everybody enjoys money. They love money. You ask the regular everyday guy, do you like money? Oh yeah, I love money. Give me some money, right? Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you allow money to dictate things in your life. When you let money call the shots. Because money can be dangerous or it can be your friend. If you're commanding money, money will be your friend. Why? Because it will do what you want it to do, period. Bottom line. But when money has the influence over you, when money has authority over you, that's dangerous. It's dangerous to you. You have to take command over money. You have to be the authority that presides over money, that rules over money. Because if you get it twisted and you allow it the other way, now money starts to control you. You know how they corrupt police officers? I'll tell you a story, okay? I'll tell you a story. So a long time ago, right here in Hawaii, a long time ago, right, there was this sheriff, okay? And I watched these guys buy them. How does that work? Well, first you ask a favor. So what they would do is ask a favor of the guy, right? Can you help us with this parking ticket? And he was like, yeah, no problem. Because he really wanted to do the favor. He was being nice. He was being a good guy. And he helped with the first parking ticket. And because these guys were, in organized crime, they rewarded him handsomely, okay? I'm talking about a thick envelope. I'm talking about $100 bills in the envelope, okay? But that's how you do it, okay? So you reward heavily. Now he's got a huge reward, right? He's like, oh, no, I was just gonna do this because, no, you take it, right? Now he accepted it. That was the beginning. What happened after that? Well, there was another favor down the road. And what happened after that? Well, after he did that favor, there was a bigger envelope. Do you see how the obligation stacks up? You see that? So now he was obligated, right? And pretty soon, long story short, pretty soon they owned the sheriff. Because now, anytime they had something to fix or something to do, he did it. Why? Because there was a sense of obligation there. You see what money does? And that's corruption. It all came out in the news later. It was all exposed later. But by that time, there was a long string of corruption. It was all public, but this was back in the 80s. This is a long time ago. But this is how you buy an official. It doesn't start like, okay, we're gonna make a deal and we're gonna give you lots of money and you do stuff for us. No, it doesn't start that way. It starts with a favor. My auntie used to tell me, don't do me any favors. She was teaching me a life lesson when she said that. Don't do me any favors. She used to always say that. I used to wonder what it meant. I had an uncle that was a fire captain, and he said the fire chief never had dinner in this house. That was another lesson. What he was saying was there's no politics going on in this house. He wasn't kissing up to the chief to get ahead in the department. So sometimes life lessons come like that, and you have to pay attention. But today we're talking about serving God or serving money. Now, if you want to say God, if you want to say source, if you want to say universe, you can say all those things. Jesus Christ, Allah, superconscious, you can say all of those things. But that's what I'm talking about. Okay? It's very difficult to serve both. You can't serve both. You can have a lot of money. You can use a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. You just can't allow money to influence you, to tell you what to do, to control your life. It's also important how you make money. Okay, how do you make money? Are you providing a service to somebody? Good morning, lady. Thank you. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for sharing it too. So how are you gonna approach this, right? God and mammon, and you cannot serve both. I'll say it again. You can make a lot of money, okay? But it's also how you make money. You know, I know lots of guys that make money, and they do marketing, and they sell little trinkets online. They make tons of money. You don't have to be smart to make money. You don't have to have a high school diploma to make money. I know guys that never graduated high school that make a lot of money legally. I'm not talking about drug money. I'm not talking about organized crime money. I'm talking about money. Legit commerce. But you have to control money, or money will control you. This is why when we talk about the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, we talk about controlling your mind, or somebody else will. If you don't control your money will control you. If you don't tell your money what to do, your money will eventually tell you what to do, because it will take the upper hand. And for some people, money becomes their God. They worship money. Money is not to be worshipped. Money is an inanimate object, although it is an energy. Why is it an energy? Because everybody has some. The energy is all around you. It's all around you. Is money evil? No, it's not. Is loving money evil? Not really. You can love money. Worshipping money, that's the evil. Why? Because now you've excluded God. Now you've excluded people. Why? Because God lives in here. The kingdom is within. So if you shift your reverence from God, which lives in here, which lives in your brothers and sisters, which lives in your friends and family and your neighbors, now you've shifted that. Now you no longer believe in people. You no longer hold people in high regard. Now it's just money. And we see this all the time in government, right? Anything in the name of money. In the name of money, they get rid of a neighborhood. They condemn a building. They do whatever. Put a rail, to the town. Whatever it is. Anything to generate cash flow. That's when corruption starts. That's when things get a little, the gray area happens. Because now it begins to shift like this. Okay? So when you control money, okay, and slowly you stop controlling money, you allow money to get ahead, and then what happens? Money starts controlling you. Learn to say no to money. I'm talking about money itself. Say no. Like you train a puppy, you have to train money. When you tell a puppy no, when you tell a puppy to sit, when you tell a puppy to stay, you could do the same thing with money. Same exact thing. It's just worshiping money. It's placing money above people. It's placing money above God. That's the bad part. That's the sin, if you will. Divided loyalty is impossible. And we're talking spiritual focus versus earthly focus or material focus. Okay, because there's a division between the body and the spirit. The spirit is the spiritual focus. The physical body is anchored in the world. Your feet touch the ground. Your body touches the ground. Your spirit doesn't touch the ground. Your spirit doesn't know the ground. Your body knows the ground. Your spirit experiences the ground through your body. Your body is what is connected to the world, to the physical world. Your spirit is in here. You're not your body. You're not your name. You're that spirit that lives in here. So everything that belongs in the body category, in the physical category, is separate. So we're talking about material stuff. We're talking about your clothes. We're talking about your shoes. We're talking about your glasses. We're talking about all this stuff. All that stuff. That all involves money. But in here, right? In here, you can't use money. So how do you control money? You control money from in here. The spirit controls the body all day long. The spirit supersedes anything physical all day long. It's in all the holy writings, every single holy writing of every religion, of ancient texts. It's all there. The kingdom is within. This is why when you start in here, you attract everything from out here. You attract it like that. Now, the law of attraction is just one law. It's just one universal law. Okay. But your subconscious is what attracts money. Your subconscious is what learns to attract money. But your subconscious can learn to be greedy. Your subconscious can learn all kinds of bad habits, okay? Any bad habit, doesn't matter. Your subconscious can learn to be corrupt. Your subconscious can learn to bribe. Your subconscious can learn to be shady. You ever have a greedy moment? You ever experience that energy of greed? You know? I do. Every once in a while I do, because I work with large sums of money. And sometimes it's really tempting, you know, like, well, maybe I can use a little more of this stuff. Maybe I can put a little bit more on the side. You know, maybe I can, you know, it's very tempting. And whenever I get that feeling, I have to step back. Whenever I get that feeling, I have to go, whoa, careful, easy. Why? Because your subconscious will learn these actions, and then it will repeat it. And what happens then? Then you become greedy. Greedy is a habit. It's an action that becomes a habit in your subconscious. Just like you can choose to be happy, you can choose to be greedy. We see a lot of instances in society like this, right? Where corporations start buying everything up. Why? Because it's all about the bottom line. It's all about money. Do corporations get greedy? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anybody has that capacity. And it's not a good feeling. When it hits you, it's like, ooh, you gotta let it go. It's not a good energy. It's a dark energy. So all the light energies are associated with love. All the dark energies are associated with fear. Greed is of the fear category. And when you feel that energy come over you, your heart beats a little fast. You get that alarm goes off, and you feel it, and then you have to step back. Why? Because if you move forward with it, right? If you allow your subconscious to do that in repetition, to keep being greedy, you will turn into a greedy person, because that's the action of the subconscious. The subconscious learns in repetition, and then it feeds it to you in repetition. It keeps doing it. Okay? So it's very important to maintain that distance. When you start to feel that way, back off, let it go. Let it go, disconnect. You have to have a master-servant relationship with money. You are the master. Money serves you all day long. Money has never been my master, ever, ever. I've never had a problem with it. Do I make money? Yeah, I make lots of money. Do I let it control me? No. You know, years ago, these guys were going to hire me at a radio station through my company. They were going to hire me, my company. And I told them, you don't need to pay me. I don't need money. And this other guy that they were talking to, I said, well, if he needs money, give him the job. Give him the position. I don't need the money. And then this other guy, right, this other guy that I was supposed to work with, he goes, wow, he looks at me, he goes, that's a pretty powerful man that doesn't need money. And I just looked at him and smiled. You know why he said that? You know why he said that's a pretty powerful man that doesn't need money? Because I have command over money. Because I have that strength over money. And you need to have it too. Okay, you need to practice that. You need to be able to turn down money. You need to be able to say no to money. You know, there's a lot of politicians that we see in the news, right? Politicians, like government officials, like, you know. And what happens to them? They start accepting money. Then what happens? Then they're on the payroll. Now they have to keep doing whatever they're doing for money. Money keeps coming in. Favors keep going. Okay, this is not a conspiracy live or anything like that. I'm just saying, I'm talking about money. I'm talking about God and money and how you cannot serve both. So what should the focus be? The focus should be God. The focus should be people. Because God lives in here. The kingdom is within. When you're serving God, you are serving humanity. Because God lives in here. When you're putting God first, you're putting other people first. Because God lives in everybody, not just you. Okay, God lives in you, God lives in your neighbor, God lives in your cousins, God lives in right? Okay? Everybody, every human being. It's a humanitarian thing to serve God. Now, if you see people professing to serve God, but they have a really crappy attitude towards others, but they really don't take care of people, but they say they believe in God, I would call them on it. Because it can't happen. It can't happen. no such thing as serving God and ignoring people. Because God is in here, God is in everyone. And everything out here responds to this. Everything out here. If you want to change the way something's going in your life, just change something in here. Whatever it is. Identify what it is. What's going wrong over here? Out here? Fix it in your subconscious. Here, use one of these. I am so happy and grateful now that I am loving. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm confident. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm making more money this month. Thank you. Whatever it is. But you can fix it. You can adjust it. It's when you look out here for the problem, for the solution. I mean, when you look out here for the solution, you can't fix anything in here from out here. When you go out here to remedy something in your life, it gets messed up. It gets messed up because now you're doing things backwards. You're working from out here when you should be working in the kingdom. If you really want to feel God, all you have to do is be patient and sit still for 10 minutes, and you will feel God. God will talk to you. It's not a voice, it's a feeling. You will feel God. Everything that happens in our life emerges from within. Okay, so life happens this way, like this. It emerges from within, based upon your beliefs. So what do you believe? Based upon your beliefs. Okay, because your beliefs translate into your paradigm. That translates into actions, and that translates into results. So your beliefs are important. What do you believe? So if you believe in money more than you believe in God, if you believe in money more than you believe in people, if you believe in money more than you believe in anything else, you have problems. Big problems. You ever see these guys making illegal money? And this is why I said how you make money is important. If you're serving others, if you're making money serving others, good job. Good job. If you're providing a service, if you're making donuts, it serves others, right? I'm just saying. Okay, you're making food, it serves others. It helps people live. Okay? But if you're serving money instead of people, you're going to miss the whole thing. You're going to miss the point. If you're making money by serving others for the good of others, okay, good job. If you're making money only to serve yourself, or if, you see these guys dealing drugs and stuff, like doing illegal stuff, game rooms, all that kind of stuff, they make tons of money, right? But then one thing happens and boom, it's all gone. So money doesn't stick. How do you make money stick? You make money obey. You are the master over money. You are money's boss. I command money every day. Every day. I tell it what to do every day. As a result, it can't tell me what to do. You see? Because you cannot serve God and mammon. You have to choose. If you're serving God, and I said it earlier, I'll say it again. If you're serving God, you're good. If you're serving money, your gains are there, but they're short-term gains, long-term losses. Because when you add up all the losses over time, your losses will outnumber your gains all day long. It can't happen the other way. And it's the way that you make money. So you need to be the master over money. You need to command money. You need to tell money what to do and not allow money to tell you what to do. What you do with money is important. And what I mean by that is what you do with it. How do you approach it? How do you command it? What do you tell it to do? That's very important. Because when you put money first, you're putting money over people. God lives in here, the kingdom is within. Okay, so just know that in the Bible, Jesus wasn't condemning money itself. He condemned the money changers. Why? Because they were doing it right there in that temple. Okay. So in other words, if you translate that out, it's like any opportunity, right? Nothing sacred. You're doing it right there in the temple. Okay. But I'm just saying, right? What belongs to God belongs to God. And what belongs to the physical belongs to the physical. There's the separation between the spirit and the physical. Money does not touch the spirit. Money is an energy, but money does not touch the spirit. Money belongs in the physical category. Okay? And your physical body is what walks on the ground. Your physical body is connected to the physical world, to the ground. But in here, your spirit, okay, that's where God lives, in here. Your spirit never touches the ground. Your spirit only experiences the ground through your body. There's a separation between body and spirit. So then where is money in this scenario? It's in the physical. It's in the material. Therefore, the spirit rules over the material. Therefore, you command money, not the other way around. You tell money what to do. Money is your servant. I know a lot of church people that don't have any money. They're poor. Right? But they believe, right? They believe. Well, everything out here is a reflection of everything in here. So if everything out here is, let's say, cheap, if everything out here is, let's say, messy, if everything out here is, let's say, poor, what's in here? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, poverty consists of feeling poor. You can't feel wealthy and be poor out here. Okay? You can't be faithful and be poor out here. Because then your faith is artificial. Because then you don't really believe like you say you believe. Because the reflection of it doesn't reflect faith. It doesn't reflect abundance. It doesn't reflect plenty. So aren't you supposed to be wealthy if you believe? If you're serving God, of course. But if you're serving material things, okay, and what I mean by serving is worshiping material things. It's going to show out here. Can you have good things? Yeah, sure. Yeah, everything out here should look good. Everything out here should be good. Everything out here should be orderly if it's orderly in here, if it's good in here, if it's faithful in here. Have you ever seen those guys that make illegal money, doing drugs and doing, right? They don't look good. It doesn't look good, does it? They don't look healthy, do they? You see? Why? Because they're serving money. They're worshiping money. They're putting money over everything else. Then money goes over your health. When you're worshiping money, money comes before health. And what happens? Well, they store up lots and lots of money, right? Lots and lots of money. And when you go like that over the long term, what happens? Well, eventually you start getting sick. Why? Because you neglected your health along the way. Then where does all that money go that you stored up? It goes to the hospital to pay for all the things that you have to catch up on now with your health. You see? So there's nothing wrong with money itself. Nothing's wrong with money itself. It's when you put money above you like this, you worship money. Okay, money first, like that. That's the wrong part. That's the bad part. Hey, Darian. Aloha to you guys in Utah. But that's the bad part. You have to control money. Don't let money control you. You have to be able to say no to money. You have to be able to put money in its place. You are the master over money. Money is your servant. When you do it that way, what you're saying is that you believe in God's abundance. You believe that God will be there for you. You believe that when you need something, God will bring it into your world and give it to you. That's exactly what happens in my world. Exactly. When I need something, God brings it. Here you go. Ask, believe, receive. Sometimes I don't need to ask. I don't need to ask. It just shows up. Why? Because you have to rely on infinite supply. And God is infinite. God's supply is infinite. God keeps giving. Why? Because God is goodness. God keeps giving. God brings everything into your life. If God is abundance, God can never retract from your life or take away from your life. God doesn't punish. We do. We do. Through our choices, whatever we select. If we select the wrong thing, things slow down. If we make a bad choice, we get punished. We get punished by our choices. It's called circumstances. But God is goodness. God is righteousness. God is love. Love is abundance. What's on the other side? Fear. Okay, love over here, fear over here. If someone can make you fearful and keep you fearful, they can control you. If they can keep you in fear, it will slow down your life. And no matter what you do, if you keep fearing, you won't be able to move forward in the way that you're supposed to move forward. You won't receive the abundance of God. Why? Because God's over here in the love section. Okay, fear is down here in the negative section. And then you have the 50 percentile right here. And all the positive emotions belong to love, and all the negative emotions belong to fear. And that's why Jesus said, "Why are you afraid, O ye of little faith?" Why did he say that? Because if you have faith, you would know not to fear. You would know that there's nothing to fear but fear itself, like President Roosevelt told us, right? You have nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear is an emotion. How does it start? It starts with a bad thought. First you have the thought, then it brings the emotion. The emotion is when you feel it. That's when the fear sets in. First you think the fearful thought, then it brings the fearful emotion. Now you engage with the emotion. Guess what happens? You're afraid. You're fearing. On some level, either you're hesitating, so procrastination is rooted in fear, or you're stopping, you're not making a decision. That's rooted in fear. Okay, hesitation, procrastination. All the negative emotions are rooted in fear. There's like a little bit of fear involved in all the negative emotions. Okay. So how do you get over it? How do you get past that? When you think a fearful thought, just say stop and switch your focus. How do you switch your focus? Okay, you have eyes. Okay, you use your eyes. They're tools. Okay, they help you avoid things you shouldn't be a part of. So when you get a fearful thought, say stop, and then look at your lock screen. You know, your lock screen. Picture of your baby, picture of your dog, picture of you and your significant other, whatever it is, right? Something that makes you happy. You're not going to put something fearful on your lock screen, are you? I wouldn't think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But just say stop and refocus. Stop and you focus here. Stop and you focus there. What does that do? That prevents the emotion from following the thought. So your conscious mind is the gatekeeper. Your conscious mind decides what you get to feel or not. And the Indian philosopher Shanakwa said your feelings are your God. And what he meant by that was your feelings will dictate what happens to you. Because when you feel bad, right, bad stuff happens. When you feel good, good stuff happens, right? Because everything out here reacts to everything in here. So use your eyes the way they were intended. In the Bible, when it, you know, because I know I have a lot of Christians, so I'll mention this is, you know, only because I know this. I don't know other religions that well. Okay, but when it says, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door will open. Okay, ask, believe, receive. It's talking about in here. You know when they say, they look but they do not see? They listen but they do not hear? That's because you don't, when you're looking for something, when you're seeking something, you're seeking with your mind, not your eyes. Your eyes are for looking, but they don't see. Where do you see? In here, in the kingdom. Your mind sees. Close your eyes. Go in the kingdom. You'll feel the answers. You'll see the answers. You will get visions of the answers. How do you hear? Your ears can listen, but your mind hears. Your subconscious hears. It's a combination of all of your senses, okay? Your subconscious hears. Your ears just listen. So you have to seek from the inside. You have to listen from the inside. You have to knock on the door from the inside, and it shall be opened unto you. And when you listen from the inside, when you seek from the inside, when you knock on the door from the inside, when you ask, believe, receive, It happens on the inside. And then what? Then it comes out here, right? The universal law of correspondence. Whatever's going on in here is reflected out here. If somebody's a mess out here, they're a mess in here. If they're organized out here, they're organized in here. It doesn't take much to figure somebody out. Just look. It's there. It's there. But be gentle with people, okay? Be kind, be understanding, be compassionate, be generous, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know why they look like this out here. You know? If poverty is the result of feeling poor, there has to be a reason why. So be gentle, be kind, be understanding, be patient, be loving. When you show someone love, it's like an antidote. It heals. Even if it's just a friendly word, even if it's just a compliment, even if it's just, you know, some random act of niceness, a random act of kindness, a kind word, something to make someone smile. That can make the difference between making someone's day and breaking someone's day. Because you don't know the weight that they're carrying already. So one little thing could make everything go boom, like that. Human beings don't need handouts. They need inspiration. If you want to motivate someone, inspire them. Share your stories, share your successes, share your victories. Share those moments that you succeeded with something, anything. Everybody has a different idea of success. Everybody looks at success differently. You know, I always say that some people think of success as being up in a log cabin all by themselves, away from society, all tucked away, with nobody around them, and they consider that success. Other people consider tons of friends a success. People all around them all the time, family, cooking, right? Doing all these family things, experiencing the love that way. Some people don't need that. They want to be alone. So everybody has a different version of happiness. Everybody has a different version of success. Everybody has a different version of what they would like in their lives. And whatever it is for you, however you enjoy life, the Russian author Leon Trotsky said, success is living your life in your own way. And you need to know that your way is not wrong just because it's different. Okay, so just because your way is different from your neighbor, it doesn't make you wrong. Just because your way is different from people in your neighborhood doesn't make you wrong. It's not a right or wrong thing. It's a choice. It's a choosing. Happiness is a choice. You select happiness. Happiness is not a byproduct. Happiness is a choice. It's a decision. People say, oh, well, when I have money, I'll be happy. Or when I have a house, I'll be happy. When I have a car, I'll be happy. When I have a girlfriend, I'll be happy. When I have a husband, I'll be happy. No, backwards. When I started out in life, I was happy first, and then everything came. You know? I started with my music partner, he was my best friend, and we just had two $100 guitars. Our guitars were only worth $100 a piece. Like, they were cheapy little guitars. but we had the most fun. And that fun, that happiness, that joy translated into tons of things, opportunities. And I'm not just talking money, opportunities, okay? More fun, opportunities for fun, shows, like all kinds of stuff. Okay, so it's not just about money, it's about experiences. It's about good, positive, wholesome experiences, good things. The better you feel, the better things you attract in your life. The better you feel, the more people want to be around you, the more friends you attract. If you don't have enough friends or you want more friends, okay, get in a good mood and just happen somewhere. Be at a Starbucks and be in a good mood and see how many people introduce themselves or start talking to you. It's magnetic. It's magnetic. It pulls people in. Kindness, generosity, compassion, okay, love, all of those things count. All of those things make a difference in your world. All of those things are learned by your subconscious mind. All of those things. When your subconscious learns to love, when your subconscious learns kindness, when your subconscious learns to be generous, you will attract so many good things in your life. Automatically. It would just happen. And you'll be like, whoa, how did this happen? It's because the program you put in your subconscious was loving. It was generous. It was kind. It was compassionate. It was friendly. All of those things. And now what? Well, people want to be around somebody like that, right? So they all start coming, right? They all start slowly, they all start coming. And pretty soon you become popular. Pretty soon you look in your friend group and everybody's like that. And you're like, wow, everybody in my friend group is really kind. Everybody in my friend group is really generous. We buy each other coffee all the time. We, treat each other, this, that, whatever. Yeah? Because it's like-mindedness. Birds of a feather always flock together, like always, every day. This is why they say, show me 5 of your closest friends and I'll tell you who you are. So when you're projecting kindness, when you're projecting love, when you're projecting compassion, when you're projecting generosity, you attract the same, because like attracts like, all day, every day. So take that with you this morning. It's Jay is over here saying see you tomorrow. So yeah, it's 7:59. So we're here every morning at 7 a.m. I'm not here to sell you anything. I don't have anything to sell you. Sorry, no products, no books or anything. I have a book, but yeah, no need. I'm just here to give. I'm here to give, and I'll be here tomorrow morning to give. We've been giving since April, May, June, July, 5 months now. I gotta do the math on my fingers. And I don't math very well. Thank you, lady. Thank you so much for joining us. But anyway, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Okay. If you were expecting a sales pitch or come to my church kind of thing, or no, it's none of that. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, we wanna say goodbye to our international feed. We're on 7 platforms every morning, and we're here to give. So I hope you're here to receive, because the more you receive, the more I will give, and I'll see you tomorrow.